Hi, folks. Happy March. Today we're going to talk about online privacy again, and we're going to focus again on our favorite devices that we carry around with each other everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Two things that we want to enable. Apple introduced in 2022 something called Advanced Data Protection. Sounds nice, right? Well, what the heck is it? It's basically iCloud backups. So when you back up your phone to iCloud, which is a good idea because if you get a new phone, it makes it very easy to upload your information to your new phone, even though you can do it with the near field communication thing where they're right next to each other. That works great too. But so iCloud backups are helpful. They're a smart thing to do. But in 2022, Apple introduced something called advanced data protection that allows you to encrypt those backups so that they can't be readable by some other third party, for example, Apple or our friends, the US government. So, and you may be thinking, well, why would the US government ever want to look at my iCloud backups? Well, I don't know. Turn on the news and you'll come up with some ideas. So it's a good idea to encrypt the backups that you're putting out onto iCloud. So let's talk about how to do that. So you go to, again, on your phone, you go to Settings, which I have just turned on, and you go to the top where you have your name and the Apple account, and you click on that. And you should see something that looks something like this: personal information, subscriptions, iCloud. Okay. And you go into iCloud, since this is an iCloud feature, if you will, and you scroll down to where it says Advanced Data Protection. Right there, baby. In my case, it's on. In your case, if it's on, then you're good, man. You're done. If it's not on, I highly recommend going into it and turning it on. Now, in my case, it's already on, so I can't show you exactly like how it works. But turn it on and also do an account recovery, where you have a recovery contact, and you basically can use that person or that person's phone actually as a way to get at your iCloud backup if you needed to. So that's what I would recommend for right now, is to do that. Now, the second thing, besides turning on advanced data protection in the account recovery section that we just discussed, you've got a recovery contact, but there's also something called a recovery key. And the recovery key is a 28-character key that if you turn it on, it will create it for you. But you got to write that sucker down, right? And you got to put it someplace where you know you can get it. I don't know, piece of paper, stuff it somewhere. I put it on a file on my computer that has nothing to do with this, but I happen to just remember it in my brain that's where it's going. But the recovery key is a really good thing because you're going to need that key, or that key is going to be needed if you go to change anything about your Apple ID, your username or your password. If you make a change to those things, you're going to need the recovery key in order to do it. And that's a very good thing to do, because when phones get stolen from bars and that kind of stuff, the first thing that happens is the Apple ID and password, or at least the password, gets changed. And because most of the time that feature isn't turned on most people's phones. And I'm sure you've heard by now, somebody goes to a bar, the phone gets stolen, and somebody else has been in the bar looking at characters that have been punched in or whatever, and before you know it, the phone's stolen and they're in, and they've changed the Apple ID password. So that's not good. So the recovery key will keep you from, or keep your account from being changed by anyone without knowing that information. So those are two things that we talked about. Just to summarize. The first is to encrypt your iCloud backups with advanced data protection. You turn that on, and while you're at it, and when you're in that screen and you're creating a recovery contact, like maybe a significant other or a family member, you also go to recovery key and you turn that on and you write that sucker down and you think about where that's going to go and how you're going to get it when you need it. And that will keep your Apple ID from being screwed around with by somebody who might get access to that or want to change it. So that's the tip for the month of March. See you next month.